What's up, guys? Got another video for you. This one's a pretty simple one, but it's something that matters. And it's not as sexy as bolting on horsepower, but I know a lot of guys put stuff off like this just because it's not as much fun as going fast or whatever. But it is something that's necessary. And what it is, these weather strips on the door. Project Road Warriors, all of it's original. Every bit of the weather stripping on it's original. And I've been getting two things. One is excessive road noise when I'm driving the car. Number two, I get a draft. Like, I can feel air blowing on me. And it's pretty aggravating, and it makes the car just seem kind of crappy somehow. Like, just like seems like an old raggedy car, and you know, that's been getting on my nerves. So what we're going to do today is we're going to change that out. I'm going to show you how to do it. There's nothing to it. The weather stripping is not expensive, it's not hard to replace, and it adds that level of quality and finish detail to your car that a lot of our cars are lacking because we're so focused on going fast, and we oftentimes overlook the little details. So follow along, we're going to upgrade the weather strip. So like I was saying, guys, we've been getting a lot of road noise and kind of a draft in Project Road Warrior, and the reason is this right here. You can see the weather stripping, pretty bad shape. Now this is pretty common in Fox bodies because this is right where your foot gets out. So you scuff it about 1,000 times with your foot and you get what we have right here, which is totally destroyed weather stripping, and it's going to give you a leak. Now the weather stripping goes all the way around the door. All that's got to come out. It's basically all one piece. It's not a hard job to do. Another issue I noticed as I was getting prepared for this project is we've got another rip right here. See that right there? That was probably the case of the wind that I felt up through the top of the car when I was driving it. Now, in order to make this happen is real simple. You've got to get rid of some of the trim here. The sill plates, obviously just screws along here, and then you've got this trim here, which this does not have to come off. This whole piece does not have to come off. There's some screws in here. I'll show you which ones. You just got to be able to pull it back a little bit. But this goes all the way around, and then this piece right here, this trim piece has to come off, and then you need to take this screw out so that you can get the pillar panel right here off. And once you do that, all you do is yank this off, which is exactly what we're about to do. Alright guys, so we got the top part of the trim off. It's just held in by these little things right here, whatever you want to call them, clips. But just be careful, pull this thing out, and get your first piece of trim off. Alright, so what we got to do now, we got to take our little speaker grill out. Nothing to it, just grab your little 7mm socket. Let's take the speaker grill out. Always make sure you're kind of gentle with these things. The cars are old and you don't want to crack anything, tear anything up, because then you'll have to go and buy more parts. Now you got your speaker grill out. You can access all the screws to take this pillar panel out. That should be good. You can take the whole thing out if you want to, but it's not necessary. The main thing is you expose this area here where the weather stripping gets on the pinch weld. Alright guys, so next thing we're going to do, take the sill plate out. sill plate up. There's nothing on the back holding it. It just gets held in there by those screws. Nothing to it. You can see back in here, guys, this is right behind the door. Got these screws here. You just want to take those screws out. That's going to loosen it up just enough that you can pull the trim out. Now you can see here with the trim removed, you can get at the back side of the weather stripping. You can see all of it with the pillar out. Now you don't have to take the pillar all the way out. I took it out simply because I wanted you to be able to see what you're working with. Alright, now that we got those two screws out, you can see trim moves just enough to get this out of the way. The next thing you want to do is find your junction point. Right here. This is where it comes together. Once you find that, you just peel it back. As you can see, it's got a little bit of adhesive on it, but all it does is hammer down onto this pinch weld. We're going to go all the way around, pull this off. Careful of your kick panels there. You can take the kick panel out. It's not actually necessary, but still a little tight up there. Again, guys, in these corners, very, very critical. We'll have to hold your trim back a little bit right here because this kind of pops over this to seal that up. So just hold that back. And again, this is why you use a rubber mallet or a plastic bed blow. You don't want to tear anything up, especially your new trim. And once you get here to your junction, you're going to notice you got a little bit extra. So you're just going to trim that off. Make sure you trim a little long so you don't end up too short. So last thing you want to do, again, is have to do this job all over. When you're going to trim, see where you got here? I'm going to leave a little extra. Be careful not to cut your other. Pull it back a little bit. Just kind of bend it back. Make a nice clean cut, clean as you can. Nice clean cut. Just like factory. Alright guys, so we're going back together now with all the trim panels and stuff. Pretty much goes back together just the way it came apart. So follow along, I'm going to show you what's up. Already got the pillar back in. We'll screw that thing in. Then we can put our speaker grill in. So basically just putting this final sill plate back in, final screws on the sill plate, and we're done. I mean, it wasn't a difficult job. If I didn't have to film and walk everybody through it, I probably would have been done about an hour, hour and a half. So nothing to it. I'm gonna finish this job up. So that's pretty much it, guys. Got the fresh seal now here on the door, and got everything back together. Job well done. There you have it, guys. Fresh, beautiful, sealed up weather stripping. Totally pumped to have this project done and move on to the next project. So keep it tuned right here. Subscribe, like, rate, review, and we'll catch you next time.